Welcome back into part 3 of Walter Russell's Cosmic Secrets to the Universe. You see how simple it is? So quality begets quantities. Let's finish this off. How you can understand that stillness is the source of where everything springs from, using a beautiful example of God's creation. The calm sea, for example, is an unchanging, unmeasurable quality of oneness, of sameness and stillness. Upon its calm surface, there is no change, nothing to count or to measure. The moment that quantities of waves spring from that quality of calm, those quantities can be measured. Likewise, they are forever changing, nor are there 2 points in them which are similarly conditioned. This creating electric universe is composed of moving light waves which spring from a calm sea of the one still light. It is a universe of moving pairs of quantities which simulate the quality of stillness from which those quantities sprang. The quantities of divided and conditioned pairs of opposite lights which thus simulate the one are not the one they simulate. The Creator is one mind indivisible. Creation is one whole idea of mind, through motion. The simulation of idea, thus expressed, is not the idea that it expresses. Part of the one whole idea are only seeming. Parts of the one whole idea are only seeming. There are no 2 separate or separable things in the universe. Parts of the one whole idea are only seeming. There are no 2 separate or inseparable things in the universe. There is but one whole simulation of the one whole idea. Everything that is of everything else that is. All things are indissolubly united. Midekuya Oyasan, all that is in relationship to all that is, so that all becomes for all my relations, which is all that is. And when you achieve the cosmic light understanding of the true oneness you are with God, you will understand that verse right there. Every happening everywhere happens everywhere. Every happening anywhere happens everywhere. The milkweed fluff floating lazily in the summer sky affects the balance of the whole universe of suns and galaxies. Every part of the universe moves in interdependent unison, as the wheels of a watch move in unison. The clock wheels are geared together. Mechanically, the rhythmic wave universe is geared together electrically. The rhythmic wave universe is geared together electrically. The entire universe is one and must be kept in balance as one. Changes of condition in any one part are simultaneously reflected in every other part and are sequentially repeated in it. I first gave these words on demand, and he did not understand them. I give them again and at intervals to find if man is learning, so that we can make our passage. Say thou, Dharma, again in words of man's knowing, for verily I say, I am within all things, without all things, and involved in all things. For I am everywhere. Who am I? Am I Hatan, or some seemingly vaporized oneness with a higher knowledge? So be it. All things are omnipresent, for all things extend from mind of me, and I am omnipresent. And I am omnipresent. All omnipresent things are omniscient, for I am within them, and I am omniscient. When man's consciousness tells him of my presence within and without him, he will then know all things, for I know all things, and I am he. All thinking things manifesteth all power when consciousness within them recognizeth their omnipotence. Until then, things are not but things, manifesting me not, being but blank slates upon which to write my mighty thoughts for blind eyes. For I am omnipotent. I give all power to him who asketh, but no one may ask of me who is not aware of me. See thou to it that many well knoweth that, and manifest thou thyself that principle of power in thine own works. For I say to all the imaged forms of my imagining, that power lieth in them to manifest a balanced light which centereth them, by making the one light appear as two unbalanced lights which interchange sequentially but equally. And again I say that all things which man senseth are but waves of dual light, which record my electric thinking in the imagined forms of my imagining. And also I say that the imagined forms of my imagining have no being, for I alone have being. So remember the inner being of your true self. He who cultivates the quiet, unobtrusive ecstasy of inner joyousness can scale any heights and be a leader in his field, no matter what that field is. He who never finds it must be content to follow in the footsteps of those who do, and thus be self-condemned for life to obscurity. So, as in the geniuses of the Beethovens, the Mozarts, the Chopins, and the likes, and what that gentleman right there was trying to teach us, the Christos. That is the kind of joy I mean, a joy which very few know and very few experience, because that joy only comes to the great thinkers. To those who do find that inner joyousness, which comes from that miracle of discovery of the self, which is within every man, comes something also which is greater than success. To them comes the life triumphant. Let me define what I mean by that. The successful man is one who is considered to have made a success of his life according to modern standards, which include the accumulation of money, properties, and honorable place in the world for notable achievements and financial worth. In other words, the successful man is generally conceived as being one who accumulates values, which can be related back to Bradstreet's. I guess that's like Wall Street. But there is something still greater than all of that. There is the life triumphant, which transcends all material success. The life triumphant is that which places what a man gives to the world in creative expression far ahead of that which he takes from it, of the creations of others. And it should be every man's greatest ambition to be that kind of man. With that desire in the heart of every man, there could be no greeds or selfish unbalance, nor could there be exploitation of other men, or hatreds, or wars, or fear of wars. The impregnation of that desire into New Age thinking will be the makings of a new race of men, which will mark the next stage of his journey from the jungle of his beginnings to a full awareness of the light of God, which awaits all mankind on the mountaintop of its journey's end. And in other words, he shall institute the principles of Christ into the planet, shall change the face of the world. So with that being said, this is Spaceman 2.0 with the Walter Russell Cosmic Light and Mind Show, and how to achieve the inner ecstasy of the truth of God's almighty power within thee, which is to still your mind and to know that you are already one with He. Spaceman 2.0, and I'm out.